Hello, I'm Sensei Belle Isle from JKRI New England here in the United States. I wanted to spend a few minutes with you talking about the various types of backstances that we use in Shindo Jinen Ryu. In our style of karate, as you know from having practiced it, we have a very extensive syllabus. Because of that, we actually have 4 different types of backstance within our curriculum. And I want to cover all of those and pay particular attention particular attention to the subtle differences between a pair of them. So let me start with the most obscure. The first one we have basically looks very similar to a narrow Zen Kusudachi looking backwards. This is a much more traditional backstance, and it is in fact called Kokutsunachi Backstance. You don't see it very often in any of our kata. One place you will see it would be in NP kata. So from here, here. This is technically a backstance. Moving on from that, I want to talk about the other 3 backstances that we use and how they're related, because they're very much a family and they sort of represent progressions from one to another. So let me start with the one that everyone is most familiar with, Kokutachi. So this form of Kokutsunachi, sitting in this fashion, weight is about 60% on the back, 40% to the front. There's a slight bend in the knee. This is incorrect. The feet are at right angles to one another. And the knee on the back leg needs to be pushed back so that it is lined up with the rear foot and aligned and over it. Hips for beginners can be here. As you become more advanced, you're going to want to bring the hips more around. As you do that, this leg moves forward over the knee and digs in more firmly to the ground, giving you a more solid stance. When you bring the feet together on this stance, they should come together in a point to a single point, like this, sort of like in Masubidachi. If you were in Masubidachi, there's a gap between the heels, meaning they don't overlap here and they don't overlap here. Proper Kokutsudachi, when the feet are brought back, meet in that fashion. So your lines should not overlap here, nor should they overlap here. They should go like this. Okay, that's Kokutsudachi. The next one we have is Ukiyashi Dachi. This is a stance that, from my own personal experience, having studied a couple of other different styles of karate, I had not run into until I came to Shindo Jinen Ryu. Ukiyashi Dachi means floating leg stance, and it is shorter than Kokutsudachi, but related. So the back foot on Kokutsudachi and the front foot are at 90 degrees from one another. When we do Ukiyashi Dachi, the rear leg is going to move, the rear foot is going to move to more of a 45-degree angle, and the front foot is going to pull back significantly. They're still, if you drew a line from the heels, going to meet at a common point, just like they do in Kokutsudachi. The front foot should be barely weighted. So 99.9% of your weight on the rear leg, 0.1%, just enough to give you just a little bit of extra stability, but all of your weight is back here. Your front toes should be curled back. You should be on the ball of your foot only. And the heel, if you put it down on the ground, should be 1 foot distance from the toes of the back foot. So from here, that's where your heel should be on the front foot. So looking from above, the feet in Kokutsudachi look like this. The feet on Ukiyashi Dachi look like this. Going from Kokutsudachi to Ukiyashi Dachi, we can then move on to nekoashi Dachi, cat stance. From here, we're going to bring the rear foot in even further, and we're going to move from being totally just on the ball of our foot to being on the ball of our foot and our toes. A little bit more weight goes into the front foot so that you're about 99% here, 1% here. Okay? So looking from above, feet are like this for Kokutsudachi, feet are like this for Ukiyashi Dachi, feet are like this for nekoashi Dachi. In Shindo Jinen Ryu, if you're looking at our kata curriculum, and if you're looking at our Ryobu-Kai kata, so the Tai Sabakis, Shimpa, anything that comes uniquely from our style. None of those stances are Neko Ashidachi. That's a frequent point of confusion that I hear broadly from a lot of different people. All of the back stances that you'll see in any of the Ryobu-Kai kata will be Ukiyashi Dachi, not nekoashi Dachi. So, Kokutsunachi, Ukiyashi Dachi, nekoashi Dachi. I hope that's been helpful. Keep training, do your best, and I look forward to seeing you on our next online seminar. ありがとうございました。